Let's set the vibe. It's 2 a.m. You're lying in bed, scrolling through TikTok, wondering if anyone really understands you. Your FYP is a mix of sad indie songs, existential memes, and videos caption me acting normal when I'm one bad day away from losing it. Sound familiar? Well, Osamu Dazai wrote a whole book that feels like that exact mood. No Longer Human is a story about feeling like you don't belong, like you're just pretending to be human while everyone else has it all figured out. Sound edgy? It is, but let's break it down. Meet Oba Yozo. Yozo is basically the original nice guy, who's not actually nice, he's just broken. You know that person who's always cracking jokes at their own expense, so you won't realize they're crying inside? That's Yozo, but like on expert mode. He's terrified of being vulnerable, so he turns his whole life into a performance. His motto: if I make you laugh, you won't notice I'm falling apart. Relatable, right? But here's the kicker. Yozo doesn't just fake his way through friendships. He fakes his entire existence. Yozo becomes the class clown, not because he's naturally funny, but because it's his armor. He's like that one friend who's always the life of the party, but then sends you a cryptic 3 a.m. text like, "Do you ever feel nothing?" He says he can't even tell if he's being fake anymore because the act has become his reality. It's like he's stuck in a never-ending TikTok trend of acting okay when you're so not okay. As Yozo gets older, he transitions from sad but kinda endearing to bro needs a wellness retreat and 5 therapists. He dives headfirst into self-destruction, booze, women, and a bottomless pit of existential crisis. Picture your most chaotic friend who refuses to go to therapy and just says, "It is what it is," as their life falls apart. That's Yozo, but on steroids. Relationships, toxic. Coping mechanisms, non-existent. It's not just sad. It's tragic. Like, bro, at least try journaling or something. So why is Yozo like this? Buckle up, because it's a perfect storm of childhood trauma, crippling fear, and societal pressure. First off, Yozo grew up in a super rigid household. His dad, cold and distant. His mom, barely there. Basically, Yozo was a kid craving love but growing up in an environment where emotions were treated like some taboo topic. Instead of learning how to connect, he learned how to hide. He figured out that if he played the obedient, funny kid, people would leave him alone. And that's where the clown persona was born. Yozo's fear of rejection turned into a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more he tried to hide who he was, the more isolated he became. The saddest part? Deep down, he wants connection, but he's convinced he doesn't deserve it. It's not just that he feels inhuman. It's that he believes the real him is so broken no one could ever accept it. What makes No Longer Human so iconic is how raw and timeless it feels. Dazai's writing hits on universal struggles we still deal with today. The fear of being seen, the pressure to fit into societal molds, and the gnawing voice in your head that says, "You're not enough." Yozo is basically a 1930s version of that one person who deletes all their social media after posting. Taking a break, don't ask. He's proof that feeling disconnected isn't new. It's just human. So what's the takeaway from No Longer Human? It's the kind of book that doesn't give you answers, just a mirror to reflect your darkest thoughts. It isn't going to tell you life gets better. It's going to tell you, you're not alone in feeling like it doesn't. It's raw, it's brutal, and it's way too real. But maybe that's the point. It's not here to fix you. It's here to sit in the dark with you and say, you're not alone. So, if you're in the mood to feel seen, like uncomfortably seen, grab this book. Just maybe follow it up with a lighthearted rom-com or a therapy session. Trust me, you'll need it. Like this video, comment, and subscribe, or just cry about it in the comments. Either way, Yozo would approve.